Mahalo, JJ Milare, for joining us on the Couch and Coach series. I see you are on a couch, and so am I. Not really, but we can pretend that we are. I tried to get this series onto our couch, or see if we get instructors as yourself. Catching up with instructors to see, some coaching tips, some coaching techniques that maybe you would like to share. We know that you were instructor in the past. You still give instruction, and you help out Ukulele Project Hawaii a lot, and I appreciate you, and everybody else does appreciate. We've met some people. Now, the cool thing is, and I don't think you knew this, but when we went out that one time to Haliva to the ukulele store, and I saw you teach those Canadian girls a song in like negative 3.5 gigawatts of a second, I'm like, what the heck did he just do and learn? And I didn't. The reason why I wasn't paying attention, I was distracted by the beautiful ukuleles. No, but what caught my attention was their reaction to whatever you told them was like, you know what I mean? That I got this. You know what I mean? A lot of people come to Hawaii and go, I want to learn ukulele. Right? It's the thing to do. I want to buy an ukulele from here. I want to play ukulele, and them from Canada was not able to buy an ukulele from there, but also to get instruction by an Hawaiian ukulele instructor as JJ Milare himself. But what did you tell them?
I don't remember what exactly I told them, but my philosophy is to keep it simple, especially for beginners. Um, I just wanted to keep. I want to keep everything not what's the word? Not scary for people. The instrument.
Intimidating, yeah.
Intimidating, yeah, not intimidating. That they can pick it up, and with just a few words, and that's on a part of me too. Try to make my words simple, like put your finger on that spot, and let's count it. 1, 2, 3. It's very elementary, but if we can, and that's a skill that I had to develop and tried to develop, because first off, I'm just a ukulele player. I've been playing since I was 7, and to get into the mindset of teaching, it's a different beast. Some people are natural teachers. Me, I was not a natural teacher, so I had to actually sit down and think, how am I playing this, and how do I explain it? So my concept is, if I can just explain it in the fewest words possible, and in the simplest of words possible, that they can get it. As simple as put your pointer finger there and count 1, 2, 3. There you go. That's your first chord. You learned that in 10 seconds. So we did that. I did 4 chords with them, I think, or 3, in that way. And in less than 5 minutes, they got it.
Yeah.
That's my philosophy. Yeah.
That's good. Now for that kind of instruction, do you think it will work in like a classroom setting? Like for me, I'm big on corresponding fingers. Now, if you were to come up in my class and be like, hey guys, put your pointer finger on the C chord, I'm like, no, you don't. You know what I mean? Because I'm looking at the future instructions. I don't want to build bad habits right away. But pop-up lessons like yours, the reason why you do it that way is for their mindset, not their ukulele feel, their mindset, right? To be like, oh, I can do it, right? And then you build more curriculum behind it.
Yeah, I do. So even if I meet people, say you have a mixed class, right? Mm-hmm. Some beginners, some intermediate, some advanced. I have to, and that's something I had to write down and think about too. How will I teach a mixed class, right?
Yeah.
And that's difficult in itself. So usually what I do is I still say simple for the beginners. And since it's quick, because it's simple, I always like to add a little bit of tips at the end for the little bit more intermediate and advanced. Mm-hmm. So they can get something out of the lesson, and the beginners can get something out of the lesson. So, for example, if we do a C, I'll tell the beginners, okay, put your finger on this 1, 2, 3, count 3 here, and do that C. Okay, for you guys that know how to play that, play your C this way. and follow my fingers that way.
Yeah.
You know, I might not know the chord name offhand, but I'll say, just do this. This is your C, since you guys already know how to play a C.
Yeah.
Or I'll play, or like a F, right? Okay, we'll learn this F simply. And then for the little bit intermediate advanced, I'll say, did you know you can play a F with one finger? You don't have to play with two fingers. And I'll be like, oh, what? Teach us that. Even though that's simpler than the
Yeah.
regular F, it's like, oh, it's something we never knew before.
Right.
So I try to add little tidbits for everybody.
How do you play an F with just one finger?
Just play it with your pointer finger and let go of your middle finger.
Oh, really? That's beauty.
Yeah.
That's usually the other way around. I usually teach that to the beginners. we slowly introduce a second, third finger, stuff.
And I do that too,
Yeah,
depending on how young the beginner is or their dexterity.
yeah, yeah,
Sometimes I go with that one finger too.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Cool, very cool. No, I love it. Your instruction, and you've taught with us multiple times, and you taught Maui Ocean Center, that's a cool gig, man. And with this, when this is all said and done, hopefully, we start back up. We got to get you back out there, man, teaching. I love your style. You held, I think it was there two out of the two times that you taught with us. I was only there one. The one I missed, where was I? Oh, I was in Fresno. I was in Fresno. I was working, and you gave a lesson. I'm like, oh, because I think when we did the Christmas one, it was just one song you taught. Yeah, man, I enjoy the reason why I enjoy your instruction is because you, like you said, you had to teach yourself how to teach, and look at the students and change your mindset and go from here to there, and I've watched your stuff in the past. I think I've taken your tips on how to strum, you know how to teach it, because like they're asking, how do you strum? I'm like, what do you mean, how do you not know how to strum? Because I'm oblivious to the fact of they're oblivious of how to strum, because and that's what I've been learning along the way during these instructions or these classes. It's like, oh shucks, there are people that are so wanting to learn and they don't know how, and they're asking us, to do it for them. you know do you feel that your instruction is more like, now your instruction is on YouTube, right? You're not teaching in person unless you're with us. You think your YouTube stuff is for the beginner, the advanced, or the the intermediate?
Yeah, right now it's all mix. It's all mix. So there's some stuff for beginners, like play your first four chords in 5 minutes type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the island strum, what is that, right?
Yeah.
Like first strum everybody learns or everybody wants to learn. So those are beginners, and then it's all mixed up. There's no real pattern. You just have to be lucky and find which one is beginner and which one's not.
Yeah.
But I try to make it obvious a little bit. So one of the videos I just did was um, Sunday morning,
Mm.
and on there put prettier chords, prettier strumming. So when you say prettier, it might be a little bit more okay. It's gonna move up a notch, right, than the regular chord. So, but the basic thing, I want people to learn things that they never have before. You know, like the Sunday morning, I've seen all the tutorials up there, and they do certain chords. So I wanted to do something. Hey, let's do something that's a little bit different. Maybe a different chord voicing,
Mm-hmm.
and then a different strum pattern. So something to add to people's repertoire.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not necessarily based on a specific skill level, but definitely uh the players that love the art of the sound, that like, oh yeah, voicing. I love the term that you use when you say, chord voicing.
I love chord voicings.
Yeah.
Actually, that's been out of everything that I've learned on the ukulele. And I don't know a whole lot. I know a good amount, right? I'm not a picking player. I don't pick, too much like Jake Simabukuro or like Larry Santos. Like those.
Oh
I,
man.
I'm not a true picker in that sense. I can pick some stuff, right? I can pick some stuff, but no, I don't do that. Um, I more like chords. I love different types of chords. Whether I love to do it a different sounding way,
Mm,
or I like to do it even a simpler way, because even the simpler way sounds a little bit different than the normal way. So in the recent probably like three, 3 to 4 years, I've been just playing around with chords and how to do it differently. Just because when you're playing along with someone, there's some of the notes in the different chords that will complement what the other ukulele player is playing,
mm,
and it makes it sound more full that way.
yeah. So it's kind of like adding the ninth or second positions or
Yeah,
that kind of stuff.
those
Yeah.
kind of things. And I know there's some chords that, like, I try to look it up on a chord generator
Hmm.
online.
Yeah.
They're like, no name for this chord. I'm like, oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah.
was asked that by one of my students just recently. Oh, it was my dad. He goes, "So everything's a chord?" I'm like, "Yeah, technically everything's a chord. Everything is a chord." You know what I mean? I mean, you look back to theory of it, yeah, whatever you push. I mean, it might some chords might not sound good. He's like, "What chord is this?" I'm like, "That's I don't know what chord it is." He held like four fingers down on one string. I'm like, "That's nothing because those three fingers doesn't do anything." And he's like, "Oh, okay." He's just being a dad. You know, I guess testing me or whatever. But um, yeah, I love the voicing of things, and for the listeners out there that haven't heard your stuff or been able to play along with you, um, I think the not only your voicing but the your transitional chords when you go from a certain chord to another chord, you just add like a little quick little chord and then you just kind of jump in. If that makes sense. Does that make sense? Is that what you call
Yes.
transitional chords?
Yes. Transitional chords. Your screen went blank. Can you see
Yeah.
me?
Yeah, no, but it's okay, we can still hear you. It's fine.
Okay. So transitional chords. Yes, I like to use a lot of those filler chords.
Filler, that's the term you use, filler chords, yes.
I don't know if that's the real term, but because so what I like to do also is there's a lot of filler chords that pianists play. They'll do a lot of filler chords, and even guitarists they'll
Mm,
play that. But you don't hear that on the ukulele. So that's something I wanted to try to learn on the ukulele as well. So that's why I enjoy doing that. Different chord voicings, like I said, on the ukulele.
yeah, that's cool. I love that those fillers, you know what, it trips me out, and sometimes I hear it from you too, and who's good at filler chords is banjo players. You ever heard like somebody like really strum a banjo like in a band, like they just every strum is a different chord. It's like every strum, like I've heard your stuff on the ukulele. It's there, you know what I mean? It's like it's kind of like that, where filler chords, I guess for the listeners out there, what are filler chords? Like if you went from C to A minor, I guess okay, in a C chord progression, you're 1 6 4 5, C A minor F G. Where and when or what would you put in a filler chord? What would your
So
filler
this
chord be, and where would you put it?
because I like the F. If I'm playing from F, right,
Okay, F. Okay, go ahead.
to E flat, usually people will play F, F7
Uh
to
huh.
the B.
Yeah.
But I'll play maybe instead of that one F7, I'll probably play three chords like that's your F. Here's a filler chord to my B flat.
Ah. Mind
Something like
blown.
yeah.
That's awesome. That's so cool. And what chords are they? What chords did you just play?
One didn't have a name. I tried to look it up.
It doesn't have a name, huh?
Yeah, one didn't have a name, but I think it was
Those
a
are
F9 flatted fifth.
okay. So F9. So F9 flatted fifth is so A. No, what is my fifth? C.
Or
So B.
don't yeah, be the name.
So you barred the second, then you barred the third, just the bottom three strings, and then you added the D
I
sharp
add
note or the
the
D
D.
note, the D note,
Yeah, there you go.
and you opened it, right? You opened your D note and
Yep.
played just F9,
And
and
then
you
the
play the
C
diminished. What is this? D sharp diminished.
finish. Yeah, and then B. It is.
Ooh. Mona Lisa, Mona Lisa.
So those are the type of things I like to try to do and try to figure out.
Yeah, that's so cool, man. Yeah, yeah, going quick like that. I guess that takes some learning, and for me, I've been playing for so long, um, but I stopped learning. My next step into learning was, like you said, learning how to teach, and I never was able to teach myself. But they also encouraged me to do is getting out there and playing with other people, learning different techniques, and playing with people, and such as yourself, such as the kapunas we got to jam with, right?
Right?
That's the stuff I miss.
Yeah, I learned the chord from that too. I mean,
Yeah,
we did it.
yeah.
C7 something.
C7 plus the fifth, something, that one.
That one. Yeah, that's the one.
But you wouldn't think it's a C chord because you're at D7 and then you move it up, but it becomes a C. I don't know. Yeah, exactly.
Those I love to watch and love to learn.
Yeah,
That filler chords that I just did for you, I
mhm.
learned that from somebody else. I watched him. I recorded him on video and then I copied it.
Yeah. So that D9 F9 you called it. So I just saw Mika Kane on the ukulele review.
Oh,
He was playing Wahine Ilikea, and instead of him playing his D7 from G to D7, his 4 1 to the 5, he did D sharp. What is that? D sharp major 7, and then he went to a F9 fifth thingy, and then he did it too. It was unreal. It was like kind of like your Sunday morning tutorial,
right, right.
like those prettier voicing chords. That's so cool. I was like, I like that. Even as an instructor, I've been teaching for a while and playing for a while, but like, it gives me like, oh my gosh, like I'll get it. Like, I want to learn that. I want to do that. I want to do that. I want to play like him. I want to play like JJ Milare. I do, man. When I saw you over a year ago at least, I was like, ooh, that dude's cool, man. I gotta meet him in person. I actually shook your hand and shared a meal with you.
I know.
I think you're the no, I want to say you're the only person I've met that's on this podcast, but no, I've met some of the You Get Up people, which You Get Up, hopefully we'll see July.
Yeah,
Send Ukulele
20.
Project. Yeah, You Get Up 2020. Send JJ Malari up to Las Vegas with me. You might be up the road. Who knows where the road's gonna take you?
We'll see. Might go home.
You might just have to take a drive. You and Sivasa take a drive
And
up.
Jen. Shout out to
And
Jen.
Jenny. Yeah, Jenny. Well, man, the instruction was great. Um, YouTube, youtube.com/JJ Malari, right? So I just saw on YouTube now that I've been doing some stuff. You can make playlists and people can see your playlist that you made. So I put all my ukulele reviews on a playlist. So maybe, is there any way you've categorized your lessons
Yeah,
and
I've
and
had.
and
I
have
have.
playlists? You do. Okay. So you have on your page, you have different playlists that we can just look and be like, oh, okay, here for beginners, or how do you break up your playlists?
Um. Oh yeah, not beginners, but more of these are song tutorials kind
Okay.
of thing. these are chords, these are reviews, type of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I love your reviews, man. Your Waterman reviews.
yeah. I had
And
someone, one of my friends bought the water bin because he saw my review. And then he
oh,
actually texted me and he was like, "Hey, so the water bin, you really like it?" I was like, "I love it, man. I've had three, and since it's so inexpensive, and I gave those three away to people who wanted to learn. I was like, here you
yeah,
go, yeah."
there you go.
And I
And
bought
that's
another one, and I
yeah,
gave it when someone wanted to learn it as a gift. It was a gift.
yeah, yeah. That's the deal, man. Right there is see when we started Ukulele Project Hawaii, our mission was to give away ukuleles. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. One ukulele for you and ukulele for you. But then somebody asked me, goes, "What happens after they get the ukulele? Mm-mm. There's no lessons." I go, so that's when it was like, click. You know, get behind a computer, learn. And to be completely honest, you were a big help in that learning process. The way you teach on YouTube, and like that helps. It helps a lot. What it did for me is, obviously I knew it. Obviously, I don't say obviously like I'm the best ever, but
But you are.
but it was like, that's how to say it. You know what I mean? Like, that's how do I tell somebody that hasn't played before, how to do it, because I'm trying to think back, how did I learn it? I don't know. There's a lot of stuff. I mean, shout out to all the past instructors that I had. My 10th grade ukulele teacher and Roy Sukuma's niece. And then that was, oh no, there was another guy. I forget his name. My mom remembers his name. I don't remember. He was just what song do you want to learn? I want to learn this song. All right, this is how you play. Okay, bye. You know what I mean? And that was it. For us, Ukulele Project Away, and you can, you're making the player a better player, like a different style, adding styles. So it's just like a cake. They're a cake, and you're just decorating it with like pink frosting and fondant here and sprinkles here and all that kind of stuff. That's what you're doing. You're making this beautiful, beautiful cake. For me, I think my training and my goal and mindset has to be first layer, foundation, a steady, so they can go and see guys like you and Jonah and all these other ukulele instructors, that they can just layer after layer after layer, sprinkles, and make them a beautiful cake. You know,
Mm,
I think we're the bakers. They're the ingredients. We just have to allow it to construct layer by layer.
I like that.
Onions have layers. All right, listeners, thank you so much for listening to this fun Couch and Coach Ukulele Interventions podcast. Thank you, Mr. JJ Milare, for the
Yeah,
lesson, the instruction.
yes, you're welcome. I mean, if there's one thing you want to take away from this lesson after everything that was mumbo jumbo said, um, if you know chords, say if you know a C chord, learn a second way to play it. That would be my tip for everybody. If you know a chord like a C, try to learn how to play it a different way. So when
Yeah,
you're playing someone, you can play it that different way, and you'll see how the chords complement each other. Sometimes they won't, but you'll learn that on the way.
yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you guys, everybody, for listening. Take that to heart. Find a second way, third way, you know, up ways, sideways, front ways, back ways, like Willy Wonka would say. All right. You heard it right there, straight from JJ Milare himself. Go check him out on YouTube and Instagram, Facebook at JJ Milare. Hello, everyone.
I don't know.